on.
Let the games begin.
Yo, everybody. Hey, welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning, yes. I want to just welcome all my movie maniacs. And those, yeah, there he is. There he is, absolutely. And my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics, welcome and bring your patriotic butts into this latest episode, again, of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning, yes. And apparently I forgot to take my speech lessons here today and figure out what I'm going to do here. And Ian, thanks for putting that tdpn.locals.com banner up there. If it's not one thing, it's another. I'm always forgetting something. So yes, that's one thing you can always count on. But I'm only human, as Billy Joel said back in the 80s. Yes. So, and yes, I am dating myself. Yes, I get that. So, and tonight, you know what? Hey, nerd alerts. We are getting nerdy. We're getting, I was about to say white and nerdy, but not necessarily white and nerdy. We welcome representation from everywhere in this. I mean, we're all about inclusivity and equity and diversity, and not really. I mean, we're all about that. We're just not going to brag about it, like too many people do nowadays. All right, so we welcome all without bragging about it. Okay, so but anyway, so so tonight I will be talking about Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, and we are going to get very spoilery right now. So now, again, gotta warn you. Now, if you have seen it, welcome. If you haven't seen it, welcome. But just know that if you haven't seen it, things are about to get spoiled. Now, I don't know how much suspense there is going to be involved with a movie like this. Okay, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. As you would imagine, it's okay. You got some good guys. They're in some tough situations, and then big shock at the end, everything works out. Okay. So I don't know how much spoilers are really going to ruin your experience. But well, with that, you know what? Hey, let's get right into it. But before we do that, hey, we've got an intro to play. All right.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Yeah, hey everybody, hey again. It's been too long since I've seen you, okay? Especially my fellow movie maniacs. Yes, just like crazy Willem Dafoe over there. And hey, I think we already have some comments here in the live chat. And so hey, what do we got? Should I be on YouTube or Rumble? Hey, I would be on Rumble, my man. Okay, so because Rumble is where it's at. Rumble is the hot, cool club. It's the hip hangout. YouTube is kind of like where your grandma shares her meatloaf recipes and pictures of her cat that's been dead for about 12 years. YouTube is like the nursing home, right? You walk in, it smells like piss. I mean, where Rumble, you walk in and it smells like sweet perfume and champagne and the smell of good times. Okay, so yeah, definitely Rumble there, Trevor. So that's a great question there. And apparently Trevor is happy that I got my mic stand, my mic arm all good to go and handled. Okay, so yeah, it's let's if it's not new, it's through, right? And my microphone arm last week decided to commit kumite. It just killed itself. And hey, you know what? I don't care because I've got this better mic arm right here. It's pretty sweet. Okay, it's all American made. Well, not really. It came from China, but so does everything else. All right. And yeah, so there we go. Yes, Ian, I appreciate the words of encouragement right there. Absolutely. So, and Trevor, yeah, he's going to switch over. My grandma, where are you going? Hey, my ass is going over to Rumble because that's where it's at. Okay, that is where it's at. And hey, I don't want to forget about my Rumble chatters too. Okay, we got Sean over there. He's giving me a let's go. Okay, I got Tom Brady over in the Rumble chat over there. Let's go. And then yeah, Sean's like spoil away. Oh yeah, it's gonna be like a picnic cooler has been sitting out in the sun for like 6 weeks. It's gonna be very spoilery. It's gonna be nasty. Okay. And hey, Will, hey, thanks a lot for the love, man. He loves this show. All right, absolutely. And yeah, hey, like Sean says, you know what? If you're just watching, don't just watch. Anybody can watch. Anybody, okay? Anybody can watch. I mean, get in that live chat, okay? Get in that live chat and let me hear from you, okay? Even if it's just an emoji, if you want to get on there and you want to put like a big shit emoji in there, that would be fine. I mean, actually, it'd be pretty hilarious if you put that in there. And yeah, like skunked Bud Light from Sean, absolutely. So yeah, it's Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch. Yeah, I think you slipped on a banana peel on that one right there. So they're trying to pander to the times. So yeah, we have a fake woman peddling fake beer, which I guess makes all the sense in the world. There, absolutely. And so yeah, I'm seeing all kinds of activity over in the chat. Okay, because I like the sense of community, right? I like everyone talking to each other and everyone just communicating. That's because that's that internet, right? Remember, with the internet before it was invented, I'm sure somebody was like, "Oh man, I'm going to invent the internet." And everyone's going to get on there and everyone's going to get along and love each other. And we're going to just talk rainbows and unicorns and hold hands and sing songs. And that's all the internet's ever going to be. There's not going to be even any negativity whatsoever. It's just going to be one big kumbaya moment. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, okay. Hey, well, enough about my social commentary. As much as I'm sure you want to hear that, and you tuned in just for that. Okay. We are going to get into Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, okay? And I'm just going to go through the plot of the movie because that just kind of gives you guys a refresher of the movie. Some of you may not want a refresher of the movie. You may want to forget about the movie. But I was going to go through that. And then that just gives you guys a chance to, interject where you want, just, live chat, put any comments in there. Whatever you want, because I mean, I don't want to just rattle on about the plot of the movie. You could save me and give me some good live chat comments, and I could check those out right there. Speaking of which, we got Beer Drinking Trev. Cool intro. Yeah, you can thank Ian for that. He's the maestro on that. And yeah, needs more dragons and dungeons. Yes. Daenerys Targaryen would agree with you from old Game of Thrones. Absolutely. So, okay. Well, before I get started here on this, I'm going to wet my whistle. And that is a cold brew right there, because as you know, Movies Merica is not just the home of movie reviews. It's the home of ice cold brews. Yes. And that's what I'm tipping back right now. But yeah, so Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. So it starts out. I thought Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves actually started out on a promising note, because it starts out just like this icy lake, and then they're going to this, apparently a prison is where it's at, and it's kind of got that dark tone to it. It's to me, it kind of had an edge to it, and they're bringing in like this prisoner. It's this big old Yeah, definitely not drinking anything Anheuser-Busch there, Will. And so they're bringing this prisoner in. And so they're going into prison with this big, supposedly dangerous prisoner. And that's where we meet Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez, because they're already in the prison. They're already in the cell. And this guy, this new prisoner, is locked up in the cell with them. And Chris Pine is, hey, welcome. All right, this is our cell over here, and this is where we take our shits and whatever. And then Michelle Rodriguez is just sitting over there eating a potato. Okay. And so this guy apparently is like, Jeffrey Epstein of the Dungeons and Dragons world. He's like trying to push up on Michelle Rodriguez, and trying to get all rapey, so to speak, So and I was like, whoa, this is where this movie's going? Okay, all right, this is one movie that you could take your kiddies to and whatnot. So yeah, Sean, that's a good point. A prison, like a dungeon? Yeah, a dungeon. Yeah, that's more apropos. So we're at a dungeon, and and she's eating a potato there, and then this guy's jacking with her, and so Chris Pine's like, hey, don't jack with her, man. I'll tell you, she's eating her potato, and that's about the only thing that she enjoys from here on, from now on in the dungeon. And so he makes the mistake of jacking with her, and then she kicks his ass. And then it proceeds from there. They're supposed to go to some parole hearing. Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez supposed to go to some parole hearing in the dungeon to obviously try to get out, right? And this is another place where I found some promise in this movie. Potato. Yes, exactly. Very drinking Trev. And so Chris Pine is waiting on this juror, or this dungeon official, to show up so he can explain his situation, like his beg and plead and please let me out of the dungeon here. Okay, I got a life to get back to, and I didn't really mean what I did, and this is why I was thieving and all that stuff, and blah blah blah. And so the guy that he needs to show up, or the creature, I guess, that he needs to show up to hear his pleas to better his chances of getting out, that's what you're led to believe, isn't there. And so the rest of the dungeon officials are just like, just get on with it. All right, stop just you belly aching about this dude. Just get in there and explain your situation, and then we'll decide whether or not we're gonna let you out. So this is where it seemed like it was kind of promising, where Chris Pine was telling about his backstory and about his daughter, and he was married. Turns out his wife was killed because Chris Pine was I can't remember, was a harper. Is that the name of the group that he's part of, a bunch of do-gooders, and apparently he pissed off the wrong red wizard, and this red wizard came and killed his wife, and was going to kill his daughter, but his wife hid his baby daughter away. And so, as you would imagine, after that, Chris Pine's character was all distraught and broken because his wife had died, and it was just him and his daughter. And so, he turns to a life of crime to survive, and sustain his daughter. Enter Michelle Rodriguez into his life, and he's just telling this story in front of these dungeon officials, trying to plead to their sense of empathy, I guess. And then finally, Jonathan is the creature that Chris Pine wanted to show up to hear his story to better his chances. And so he shows up, and no longer, no sooner than this Jonathan creature shows up. This Jonathan creature is like a bird, right? And Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez grab him, and they smash out the window, and obviously fly down from this great height. And that's their prison escape. And then as they're smashing or crashing to the glass, as they're escaping, you hear like the dungeon officials like, yeah, but we approved your parole. We're releasing you, as they're falling. And so that's one of the rare funny lines in this movie. And so obviously they escape the dungeon, and then what their next objective is, and let me just warn you ahead of time, I'm sure I'm probably going to skip out and miss some scenes and whatnot in this movie, so just that disclaimer. So if you hear me describe something, you're like, that motherfucker forgot that scene, what the hell? Like, well, that's my disclaimer to make you feel not so bad, and to kind of like just edge you off. Okay. So plus, like I said in my spoiler-free review, I just didn't really like this movie, so I'm trying to drum up the ability to actually give a shit about this movie and go through. Exactly. Other than that, I like the movie. So Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez, they establish that Chris Pine's objective is to get to this this castle to see his daughter, because his daughter's not a baby anymore. She's a grown up kid, or she's a kid, and she's there at this castle, and she's being taken care of by Hugh Grant's kind of playing her surrogate father. And they get to the castle, and it's a reunion with her and Hugh Grant. And his daughter is not too happy with old Chris Pine, because as you would imagine, hey, she expected to have her dad. Her dad gets busted during a heist and gets sent to the dungeon, right? And so she's like, yo, hey, what a terrible dad. What the hell? No Father of the Year coffee mug for you there, putz. Okay. And so she pretty much gives him the cold shoulder. Okay. I mean, it's when they reunite in this castle, it's like, who turned on the AC? It's freezing over here. So Sean's like, does the castle have a dungeon? You're obsessed with dungeons. I think he's got investments in dungeon stock or something. So yeah, I'm not hearing about many Dungeons or Dragons. This movie sounds like false advertising. Yeah, because it advertised itself like it was going to be a good movie, a fun movie. Okay, I mean, they actually did come out with a trailer last year that had a remix on Led Zeppelin's. Was it A Whole Lot of Love or something like that? So, but it was a badass remix of a Led Zeppelin song, and I thought, man, I made the movie look pretty good. But I guess even a dog shit movie can have a great trailer, right? So that doesn't really prove anything. But to be fair to me, I probably wouldn't have seen this movie in the theater if I wasn't, reviewing movies. Yeah, it was definitely false advertising. And did James Gandolfini run the castle? No, he wasn't. No, Robert Redford in this movie with James Gandolfini. So it wasn't quite that earthly. But that's a great question, beer drinking Trev. So that's the kind of interaction I'm talking about. So again, all the lurkers, all the people just hanging out, just watching, get in that live chat, okay? And let's interact, man. I want to hear from you, okay? So we're moving on here in the castle with. Actually, no, I probably did have a dungeon. So yeah, so then they meet up with Hugh Grant. And Hugh Grant was like a fellow thief in their thief posse, and but he didn't get caught. Okay, he obviously didn't get caught. And yay from Sean. Yeah, I'm assuming that's a yay for there's a dungeon in the castle, so all is right in the world or in the kingdom, whatever. And they meet up with Hugh Grant and Chris Pine's daughter. And it seems all friendly at first. Well, hey, how you doing? All right. Hey, glad you got out. All right. Hey, we got cookies over here. All right. So, and then this red wizard, this lady, Sophia, I think is her character's name. She walks in, and it turns out Sophia, this red wizardress, is that a word? That walks into the meeting with Hugh Grant and Chris Pine and his daughter and all that. She's the one that wanted them to steal something to go on this heist like a few years ago that ended up getting Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez busted. And so she walks into the room, and so I'm sure Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez like, yeah, thanks, Xenk. All right, we got busted on this heist that you asked us to go on. And then so it turns out that during this scene, things start going rotten, right? And pretty soon it's revealed that Hugh Grant set up the whole thing. He set them up to be caught, and the red wizardress, what I'm going to call her. So we'll call her Sophia. She put him up to it, and so she let Hugh Grant live because she wanted Hugh Grant to run this kingdom, so that he could create these games that happened at the very end, the big, deadly Olympic games and whatnot, so that she could get everybody together, so she could start this spell or, cast everybody in the spell, for the big evil event at the end of the movie. And so Hugh Grant is pretty much just a useful idiot to her. And so Hugh Grant's got no time for Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez. So then he basically, he's going to have him killed. Now Chris Pine's daughter has left the room, and so she doesn't know anything about this. She thinks like everything's hunky dory, and so later on, of course, she's like, "Hey, I better go with my dad," And Hugh Grant's like, "Well, he already left. He abandoned you again. Like I said, no Father of the Year mug for this guy, right?" But in reality, basically Hugh Grant and Sophia are having him killed. Okay, and then so they fast forward, Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez, they do escape thanks to Michelle Rodriguez being the ass kicker in this. And that's the thing about this movie is that the men pretty much have their balls cut off in this, and the women are doing the fighting for the most part. There's one character later on that is the notable exception to dudes having their nuts cut off and all the women doing the fighting. And again, I have no problem with women being girl bosses and kicking ass and whatnot. Hell, I love Ripley and Aliens and Tomb Raider and all that shit. Angelina Jolie and Salt, all that stuff. That's fantastic. But when all the guys are a bunch of pussies except for one, and then the women are doing all the fighting, like I'd say that's an overcorrection. Okay. You don't have to have it where all the dudes are badasses and all the women are just screaming damsels in distress. Like you don't have to have that. That's old school, right? But let's kind of it's even it out. Let's not overcorrect. All right. So absolutely, and I got you. I got you, Trevor. Beer drinking Trev. I always gets my movie references, man. Hell yeah. But what about the potato? Did it survive? You're going to have to wait to the end to find that out. I know that's the number one question on everyone's mind is what about the potato? Did it survive? Did it leave this world, or can we all still be happy and know that the potato is still with us? Absolutely. And so it's Wonder Woman 84, but with dragons. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's but Wonder Woman 84 had like that stupid forced 80s nostalgia, is trying to be Stranger Things, which Stranger Things has their 80s nostalgia is all forced as well. But Wonder Woman 84 had that forced nostalgia. But enough about Wonder Woman 84. Getting on with Dungeons and Dragons here. Professor Savage Dad. Welcome. Yeah, sounds like shit. Yep, and never watched it. There you go. Well, you've got that one over on me, my good man. Absolutely. And so you didn't miss anything. The only time I would actually watch this is say if you maybe there we go. Yeah, I just saw that, Ian. You put in the chat there. Yeah, we should get that display like you guys. I forgot to ask you about that because we can show the chat, the Rumble chat in here so that everyone can see their live chats in there. So if we can do that somehow, I'm sure Ian's working his magic, or I got to do something. All right. And so so we are moving on here, and I think I forgot to address something with you there, Professor. Oh yeah, never watch. Yeah, exactly. Like I was saying, the only time you should watch this is if you're sleeping on the couch and you happen to wake up at 3:00 in the morning and it's on Stars or Showtime or something like that, and you can manage to stay awake, then watch it, but don't pay any money for it whatsoever. Absolutely. Okay. And all right. So let's do this here. So before I get too far into the synopsis here, we've already got the banner up at the very top there, but just wanted to let you guys all know to check out our tdpn.locals.com. Because we've got some great content out there, and that just gives you a chance to see some member-only content, okay? And there we go. Absolutely. There you go. He's got my back. And we've got some content out there that's not, that everyone can see, but the real juicy stuff is for the members, okay? And you can join us at that website there, the tdpn.locals.com, for as little as $3 a month, okay? But as it says right there on screen, you can just punch in promo code TDPN for 1 month free membership. Yes. Okay. That's a bargain. Okay. Well, obviously it's a bargain. It's free, right? It's for 1 month. And get in there and just check out all the content for free. And then after that, it's just, like $3 a month. No big deal. Okay. I mean, like I said in my spoiler-free review, I'm a cheapskate, and even $3 isn't that much to me. Okay. That's a box of Hot Pockets there, everybody. Absolutely. Okay. And so then also, just wanted to ask you to like this as well. This Movies Merica spoiler warning. And then also subscribe or follow, depending on where you're at. So I think it's follow on Rumble and subscribe on YouTube. And then also get in those comments, okay? So even after this show is over with, you can get in those comments and you can let me know what you thought of the show, okay? Because I know I don't do everything perfectly. I think I've proved that at least a couple times here already in this show. And so, just let me know, hey, you got any tips, got any trips on like Robert Downey Jr., in the Tropic Thunder. Got any tips? Got tips? Man, give me some tips. Give me some tips. I want some tips, okay? And then also, let me know if there is anything. What you liked best about Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, what you liked the least, who's your favorite character, whatever. And then also, hey, let me know if there's a movie that you want me to review, okay? So I'll pretty much try to review anything, as long as it's not porno. We have our boundaries here at Movies Merica, absolutely. And hey, man, I appreciate that, Sean. My first Rumble rant. I rumbled you. Your first rant, rumble, rant. Tell us more about the potato. For $2. You're gonna get some serious potato details right there. Okay, so it's got a lot of eyes on it. It's brown. It's kind of flaking off. It just got divorced from Mrs. Potato Head. So it's hopefully that was worth $2 right there. So and beer drinking chip. Wonder Woman 84. Just don't. And then then Professor Savage Dad showing the love over here with another $3. I appreciate that, man. And he's just here to one up Sean, literally. So so someone needs a 1 up or 2 up or 100 up. Professor Savage Dad's $3 right there. Okay, so Professor Savage Dad is laying down the gauntlet. Okay, he's king of the Rumble rants so far, absolutely. And then Professor Savage, my member is a member. All right. Well, hopefully we're keeping your member happy. And that just sounded really weird. I realized that right after I came out of my mouth, and that sounded weird too.
I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Can't argue with that, man. Can't argue with that. There you go. Spot on, Ian. Yes. And Sean. Sage advice: never go full retard. I'll tell you, don't do that, man. Don't do that. It's like Forrest Gump went half retard. Okay, but don't go full retard, man. Don't do it.
Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch. Yeah. Tell him, Chappelle. Tell him. Beer drinking trip. Hands of Steel. And then there you go. King of the Castle from Borat. You bet. And what do we got in? Professor Savage Dad. I heard when she left Mr. Potato Head, she took everything, and now he's literally just a potato. Really sad. Yep, I know. He's now Mr. Potato Head is like at the potato strip club, trying to hook up with chicks like half his age and whatnot. It's so sad. So I hear
those babies.
Yes, brilliant work in, absolutely. So I think he's trying to date this girl named Julianne. Yeah, okay. I went there. Yep. All right, gotcha. So, all right. So let's go ahead and let's move on out of here. And let's proceed on with the rest of Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Absolutely. Okay. And so we have escaped the dungeon and escaped the castle. They're doing a lot of escaping in this movie. I think they're going to escape from New York next, probably. So then they have to recruit their A team or B team, or in this case, their Z team, because they realize, okay, we got to get back to the castle to save my daughter. And that's kind of like a little switch up that they did in this movie from the Dungeons and Dragons game. In that game, I guess they're saving the princess, and now they're saving his daughter. Okay, and I had to look that up because I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. So, but hey, more power to the people that do. God bless you. I don't, but that's a little detail that all the D&D players, the little change that they would know without having to look that up. And so, yeah, they start going out. It's kind of like the montage. Yeah, I got you, Ian. Appreciate the effort. And so, yeah, so then they're trying to recruit, kind of like in Ocean's 11, where Danny Ocean's trying to recruit Brad Pitt and Matt Damon and all those guys, and so in this movie, Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez trying to recruit some, their old buddies. And so they run into the first guy they run into was like this sorry excuse for a wizard named Simon, I think. And yeah, he's just kind of a sad sack. He's kind of a poor excuse for a wizard. I think his big trick is he can make a flame out of his finger, and he can conjure up the smell of fresh cut grass. I mean, just lame stuff like that. And so then they recruit him, and so there's like this big scene where he's trying to steal from the village, and they're trying to come after him, and they realize, oh man, this little twerp up there doing these lame tricks. He's trying to steal our gold. Get him! And so Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez are there just in time to help him get on out of there. So absolutely. So let's check out some chats right here. So we got to review Hands of Steel. It's a great movie that Trev and I have watched. It's from the 70s. Okay, food for thought. Hands over. Sounds very handsy. Snake Plissken shows up. Yeah, he's the next guy that they recruit. He's Snake. Call me Snake. Yeah. And so he basically flies into another village with the plane right there, and Adrian Barbeau shows up. Yeah, absolutely. So we like it when Adrian Barbeau shows up, and there's another old reference. Lights his farts on fire. Yeah, he didn't do that, but yeah, he should have done that. That would have added some comedy genius to the movie. Then that movie probably would have gotten 2 thumbs up from me. You bet. And that's a really toxic name. He's going to get fried by that bitch. Yeah. It's there's some toxicity in this movie right there, but just from one character, because like I said, all the male characters are pretty much gotten neutered. Okay, absolutely. And and professors. I have to start driving, so my replies will be somewhat sparse. It's too bad you don't live in L.A., because then you could just sit in traffic, and then you could comment all day long or something like that, or drive in my neck of the woods here in Dallas Fort Worth, and then you around 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Just sit in traffic, and then we would hear a lot more from you there, professor. So yeah, but we always like the live chat, so yeah, keep them coming. Absolutely. So they recruit Simon, and again, Simon is like just this half-ass wizard. And so then they got to get more guys. They're only up to 3, right? That's 1, 2, 3. See, I got to do math. All right. And then they go to recruit this redhead. But when they first meet her, she's not this redheaded girl. She's like this owl bear that's basically in this tussle with these baddies, and she's kicking their ass. Okay, she's going straight Stone Cold Steve Austin on them. She's kicking their ass and all over the place, all over the ring, and then she's trying to fight out these baddies because they've got like this woman like tied to a tree, and I guess this about to be recruited character playing the owlbear like trying to save this woman, and so she unties the woman after she kicks the baddies' asses, and they kind of give each other that look, and I thought like, oh my god, are they going to go full les in this movie? I mean, this is a kids movie. What the hell? Like, what the? Okay, all right. So they're gonna go there. And they did not. Okay, they did not. I think they remembered like, okay, this movie's PG-13. We're not. This isn't Skinamax. Okay, this isn't Red Shoe Diaries. We're not Not dealing with that in this movie. And they shake hands and part ways. So they don't go les out or anything like that. So, but anyway, hey, you know what? If they were going to do that, not in this movie though. Okay, so we got kids in the audience. Sorry for them because this movie sucks. But anyway, so then they recruit this girl, and then I think they go and they have to exactly missed opportunity. Professor, my favorite carpet to munch is red carpet. Yeah, I hope kids aren't watching it. Well, not that I've been watching what I'm saying either. So but we like it. Yeah, there you go. Keep it spicy. Absolutely. All right. Shit, that came out wrong. I meant like red hair, son of a bitch. Absolutely. So we're getting it from all places. Like just unleash, man. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. But so I think at this point in the movie, I think they figure out that we need some more armament, okay, to go back to the castle and save my daughter, and I'll admit, okay, in this movie there are some parts of I'm gonna like I said before, I'm gonna miss some scenes, and the reason I'm gonna miss some scenes is because I straight up fell asleep in this movie. Okay, I did. Yeah. I straight up fell asleep up in this movie right there. And you know what? Hey, that's the movie's fault. Okay. I mean, because when the movie,
she's gone from suck to blow.
Exactly. Absolutely. So that's exactly what happened. Okay. And so then I went from wake to snore. Okay. And so so it was literally like I was in that theater, and every once in a while I was like, I'm in a movie theater. Hopefully I wasn't drooling. Which I probably was. And so so I'm gonna miss some scenes in here, but what I remember, because I saw this movie a week ago, that's my excuse, all right, and I'm sticking to it if I miss anything, and the fact that I fell asleep, is I think they figure out they have to find this helmet, and they got to find this.
She's gone from suck to blow.
See, I played that because it's not that dark helmet. No, this is a different helmet that they have to find. And it's this helmet of power or something like that. I mean, you know how these movies are. There's always like some MacGuffin, right? There's always something they got to find. It's kind of a weak, lame way to drive the story forward, right? Like, we could end the movie right now, but we got to keep this piece of shit going for another, hour and a half. And that reminds me, this movie committed a cinematic federal crime, okay? This movie is 2 hours and 14 fucking minutes long, okay? And there is no excuse for a Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves movie or a Dungeons and Dragons movie to be 2 hours and 14 minutes long, okay?
Fuck you.
Elizabeth.
Heartfelt.
Exactly. My hate for that length was heartfelt, and a fuck you to them, yes. Exactly. So, what do we got here? Don't worry about the kids. They are getting their trans education at school. A sex scene in the movie would baffle them. Yeah. And that's, you know what? Hey, when you're right, you're right. Okay. They are learning some heinous, disgusting, sleazy, skeezy shit in school, I guarantee you. So, so seeing a Leslie scene in a movie, probably pretty tame. Okay.
Schlong COVID.
Exactly. Yeah. If they see schlongs in a movie, the kids are probably be like, oh, yeah, we learned about those last week. Yeah, it was like schlongs all over the place. Yeah, so, they remember that? Yeah, we're only in third grade, but, we got, next week is chicks with dicks is what we're going to be all learning about, chicks with dicks. And then they're might squeeze in 5 minutes of math and 10 minutes of reading, but the rest of it is going to be chicks with dicks. Absolutely spot on there. Great point there. Great point there. So beer drinking Trev. Let's get that right. I don't want to diss you there. And and Professor Savage, that you've got to excuse the fact that they had to spend at least 45 minutes to an hour cucking all of their male cast members. Yeah, there is some serious cuckage in this. Okay, they are. It's like the Bill Gates kind of cuckage up in this movie. So speaking of the cucks continue cucking their way through this kingdom. I don't know what the name of the kingdom is. Again, I don't give a fuck. All right, we're going to call it Possum Kingdom. There we go. Yeah, we're going toadies here. Possum Kingdom. And so they learn they have to find this helmet, and so they go to this graveyard, and somehow they learn like, well, this helmet. The last time that this powerful helmet was seen was in this battle, and so they have to go to the scene of this battle in the graveyard that holds all the people that died, and, kick the bucket at this battle, and because these dead guys are supposed to know like where this stupid fucking helmet's at, right? And so this Simon, he casts this spell on each of these dead guys, obviously buried. So I got to dig up these dead guys, and they cast a spell, and they get a chance to ask them 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. I love to count. All right. And so they get to ask them 5 questions. And so they're just kind of doing this Law and Order SVU like interrogation of all these dead guys. Okay. Talk about a lost opportunity there, Law and Order SVU. I mean, you could have had an episode where you're like interviewing dead guys. All right. But instead of you're concentrating on date rape cases, boring. So yeah, they start interviewing these dead guys, and so they're like, they go up to the first dead guy, and first question is, where's the helmet? I don't know. And so they have to ask them 4 more questions, because if you don't ask them 5 questions, they stay alive, right? And like I said in my spoiler for your review, if they stay alive, they wander, amongst the earth, looking like Kathy Griffin without makeup on, right? So then they have to ask them 5 questions, and then they kick the bucket again. They go back to their dead state, and so they go through all these dead guys, and so they get to one guy who's like, "Oh yeah, my compadre, he had this helmet, and he went that way." And then they go to the guy that he was talking about, and they dig him up, and they just kind of go on and on and on, and asking all these dead guys these questions, and they finally figure out, okay, where this stupid helmet's at. And now to back up to the dead guy interrogation, that did have some funny moments to it, because they would ask the guy that one guy or a dead guy, the first question's like, "Hey, do you know where the helmet's at?" And he'd be like, "No." And then so in order to put him back in his dead state, they'd ask him like 4 other bullshit questions. And so Chris Pine's like, "Do you like cats? What's your favorite color?" That kind of thing. And so it kind of proceeds on from there, kind of goes on from there in this scene. And so that was kind of funny. But yeah, there isn't much funnier things than that, absolutely, in this movie. So then they find out where this helmet's at. They move on, and then I think this is probably one of the parts where I think I fell asleep, because all I know is I remember them asking dead guys. They found out where the helmet's at, and then all of a sudden they're fighting a dragon in some underground with lava and shit all over the place and whatnot. And so I think I woke up like, "Ooh, is this like Lord of the Rings, Return of the King? What are they at, Mordor?" Like, oh, it's still the same lame fucking movie I'm watching here. Okay. So I probably dozed off for probably a good 10 minutes or something like that. So good thing that the theater was empty. Okay, because it was empty. It was me and a dude with a broom. Okay, all right. And I think he was falling asleep on his broom too. I think he was bored as hell from this movie. But so they're in this underground cavern with lava and shit, looking like Mordor and stuff. And they meet this paladin. Or actually, they met the paladin before, and this paladin, the one guy that actually kicks ass in this movie. Okay, he's in this underground fiery chasm or whatever with them. And this is supposedly where the helmet's at, and they got to try to find it down there. So he's got to find the rest of the helmet.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
I know. I'm getting to that point. I'm starting to like rattle on here. I hear myself, and so they find the helmet, and they get out of there. I think they fight a dragon in there too. Believe it or not, that's another part of the movie where I fell asleep, is because I saw a show about the Dungeons and Dragons in my research that I'm doing, and they kept showing this scene where they're fighting this dragon. Like, what the fuck? I didn't see any scene with a dragon. And then it dawned on me like, oh yeah, that's right. That's probably like when I was counting sheep, at that point. So I'm like, all right, hey, I missed it. Oh well. So they're fighting a dragon. They get out of there. And then finally a dragon. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And what it looks like it's the Lizzo of dragons. They got like a Lizzo dragon in here because this is one large and in charge dragon. Okay, I think, yeah, it's massive. Okay, it's apparently they have a Whataburger or a Taco Bell down there in that chasm right there because yeah, it's massive. All right, this is a massive fat dragon, and it's so yeah, so that's why I call it the Lizzo of dragons, and so that's I guess that's an insult to dragons. I get it right there, but I guess they wanted to make it unique. You know, they didn't want to make it look like one of those dragons on House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, so they get out of there, and I believe that they have to go. Well, I think at this point, I think they just go back to the castle, right? They hey, we got our team, we got our A team or a Z team, and then before they head to the castle, this paladin guy, the only guy that kicks ass, he basically takes off. I guess, I don't know, he's got to return some library books or something like that, and he just takes off. We never see that guy again. Because I guess the director's like, all right, that's too much toxic masculinity. We got to get him out of there. All right. We got to, it's girl power time again. And so they head to the castle. Okay. And they're going to have some fun storming the castle, like on The Princess Bride. And they have to sneak in there. And Hugh Grant is on a lookout for him because Hugh Grant is, again, he's the bad guy, right? Okay. And he's got his partner in crime, though, Sophia, the red sorceress. And so Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez, they break into the castle. They get caught, I think. Yeah, they must get caught because it's because they basically get caught and they have to play in like these deadly Olympic games that they're having again. It's kind of like the games in Gladiator, right? So, but in this case, Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez, they're the Maximus in this right there. So we got beer drinking trip. It's like having an hour of character introduction at a dinner of sorts. Then they finally head out on the adventure, reach the badass dragon, and movie ends to be continued. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's your basic garden variety fantasy movie here. And so again, like I said, everyone that's in here that hasn't seen the movie, yeah, obviously you're not gonna, your life isn't going to be drastically changed for the negative because I'm dropping all kinds of spoilers on you. I think how this ends. Okay, it's got about there's about as many stakes in this movie as there is like in your typical episode of Alvin and the Chipmunks. Okay, but I think I'd rather watch Alvin and Chipmunks on triple speed for 2 weeks straight than watch this movie again. But Sean's like, oh, I know that movie reference. Yeah. And then Professor Savage said, I imagine there's a director's cut out there that will be unrated where the lead is getting pegged. Very well. It very well could be. So yeah, there's always that director's edition out there.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. It's a butthole of a movie. Absolutely. Yeah, there's going to be, they're probably going to be like a release the pegged cut or something like that. Like you had to release the Snyder cut. It's going to be the release the pegged cut. Absolutely.
Try to relax your anus.
Yes. And so, yeah, I mean, do people want to see that? Yeah, you know it. And so they they get into the castle, they get caught. They get put into these Olympic games, these deadly Olympic games with all these characters and these creatures, I should say. It's always all these deadly creatures trying to kill them. And this gives them a opportunity, the CGI artists in this gives them an opportunity to really suck at their CGI job, okay? Because all these creatures, these deadly creatures that they're supposed to be fighting, that's some terrible CGI, okay? This is the kind of CGI where these CGI, folks, they go home to their parents and they're like, hey, Ma, Dad, hey, I created this CGI for this Dungeons and Dragons movie. Okay, isn't it great? And their mom and dad, they have to like pretend that it's good, and then they hang their CGI up in their fridge. Okay, look at what Junior, look at the CGI that Junior did. Isn't little Stanley a good CGI artist? He did that all by himself. Yeah, he used like 3 crayons to put that CGI together. Oh yeah, and everyone's got to pretend that it's good, you know, but really,
Crash and burn, huh, Mav?
yeah, it's crash and burn. Absolutely, it's not Top Gun, that's Bottom Gun with these CGI artists right there. And so it's through the whole thing, the CGI is just tragically bad. And again, another thing where you're gonna be like, I can't get that again. 2 hours and 14 minutes back. Yeah, you're not going to get that back whatsoever. But so back to the terrible CGI Deadly Olympic Games. And you know what? Hey, wow, big shocker. They survive. Yeah, I know. I didn't see that coming either. I'm glad I was sitting down because my jaw dropped to the floor when Chris Pine and company, they survive these games. And then at some point they get on they get his daughter. They're leaving on a boat, not a jet plane. They're leaving on a boat, getting out of there, and because they escape Hugh Grant. And Hugh Grant was like Hugh Grant turns out to be a real piece of shit. Well, we already knew he was a piece of shit, but they're trying to escape on this boat, and then Hugh Grant, in order to get them to not escape, he actually puts a knife to Chris Pine's throat. And throughout this whole movie, they're trying to portray in this that Hugh Grant really loves this little girl, and he's her surrogate dad and whatnot. But the minute that his tits in a ringer, he holds a knife to her throat. Like, Hugh Grant, you're a piece of shit. All right, man, you suck. And so then they escape that. I can't remember how they got out of that. Again, like I said, I don't give a fuck, and so I don't remember these details. But she gets on the boat. They start escaping. They got all kinds of money. They got all kinds of loot because Hugh Grant had, his Powerball winnings somehow on the boat. They escape. And then somehow, I think they look back at the castle, and there's like this, big, evil, ominous cloud, as if it's like East Palestine, Ohio, right? Over the castle. And so they realize like, oh shit, we got to go back because all these people are going to die. Okay. Yeah. Apparently they grow a conscience. And plus the filmmaker's like, hey, this movie is only an hour and 57 minutes long. We got to piss off Van and make this 2 hours and 14 minutes. So we got to have him do some more shit. All right. So they go back to the castle and they go up against Sophia, the red sorceress. And, so I'm not going to bore you. Unless I'm boring you already. They fight the sorcerers. They win. The end. Absolutely. And, we got Sean here. He's one-upping Professor's Rumble Rant with a $4 Rumble Rant. Brew review me. Yeah, hey, you know what? Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely do that. Let's get that going on. Absolutely. I'll tell you, you are on the spot with that. Brew review time. Yes, just as advertised. And actually, for this brew review time, I wanted to bring you my all-time favorite beer. Here, let me get my fingers off there. That's what she said. So right here we got the Bell's Brewery Two-Hearted Ale IPA. Yeah, this is like my favorite beer of all time. If I didn't mention that already, okay. And it's out of I was going to say the great state of Michigan, but I don't know if it's still great right there. I mean, we got, Gretchen Bitchmer as their governor right now. But where they lack in political savvy and IQ levels, that would lead them to vote for good people, they do kind of make up for it with their beer, okay? But yeah, exactly. So yes, I couldn't have said it better myself. And so check out Two-Hearted Ale, Bell's Brewery. I think you could find it at all kinds of grocery stores, whatnot. So it's not obscure, it's everywhere. It's not like some obscure microbrewery, from Bangladesh or something like that. But but I'm gonna start. Let me take a tug off this bad boy. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. That drink. He's just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Sweet, 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 sweet. Yes, that beer is from the gods. Was God approved? Thank God. Bless you. Bless you, my sons and daughters who have joined me for this movie's Merica spoiler warning. Yes. All right. Maybe I should let some white smoke out of my chimney. Get some doves. But yeah, so that has been brew review time. All right, let's check out some more of these chats. Okay, these live chats right there. So yeah, I want to make sure I don't miss any of these right here. So because yeah, these are the CGI folks that think Minecraft is the height of gaming graphics. Yeah, I can't comment too much on that there because I'm really not a gamer. I mean, God bless all the gamers out there. I think I don't have the attention span for it. Okay, it's I know attention deficit disorder. I know what you're screaming like. Take your Ritalin, dude, and play some video games. Be a man. Be a man. Play some video games. But I have heard of Minecraft. Okay, I'm not that dense. I have heard of Minecraft, so you got to give me that much credit there. So, and yeah, so Professor Savage said, yeah, but bro, have you tried Minecraft on ray tracing? And I'm going to pretend I know what the hell that means. But thanks for the comment. And we got Minecraft RTX has better graphics than most of the recent manual movies. Change my mind. Well, I mean, I think pretty much anything's better than the recent Marvel movies. I walked outside a little bit earlier and I saw a pile of dog shit that is definitely better than recent Marvel movies right there, and particularly better than Eternals. Okay. And so that pile of dog shit will eternally be better than Eternals. Okay. So yeah, it's a great point there, Professor. And oh yeah, wait, Good Guys 1 from Sean. Yeah, I know, Sean. I know. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It's they didn't go all Ned Stark in this movie and just kill everybody off. As much as me and the guy with the broom in the theater were cheering for them to kill off all the good guys. Okay, but yeah, you know what? Yeah, hands. Yeah, right there. Okay, so right there. It's and they don't smell like Vaseline or anything like that. There's don't smell like anything really, except for victory. Yeah. All right. But yeah, that's a synopsis of Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, and so that's yeah. What I want to do now actually is I actually want to show you just some scenes, some video from some movies that actually you should watch instead of Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Okay, but in the same genre. Okay. And these are these are older movies right there, but these are pretty good. So the first one I'm going to go in like the order of age, okay? And let me show you this. This one is from Excalibur.
My brother, I shall be.
All right, so I'm going to do the sound because we might get dinged for that. So we don't need the sound because you got me to describe this, okay? So this movie is Excalibur from John Boorman. He's a director, John Boorman, and movie experts or just fans of movies would know who that is. And this came out in 1981, and this is fantastic. Okay, this is the complete opposite of Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. And here, let me play this here for just a second. I'm going to get like one so you can hear this. Well, we're going to wait till it gets a little further in, and there's like just 2 seconds, 3 seconds of the song I want you to hear, and you're probably going to recognize this movie when you hear the music here. But this actually is one of the first movies that had Patrick Stewart and Liam Neeson in it. See, recognize that music? Yeah, that's Old Fortuna. So they play that song in this movie, and like I said, Patrick Stewart's in this. Is like way before he was Picard. Liam Neeson way before his daughter got kidnapped, and before he was helping out those Jews to Schindler's List. Okay, so yep. Who else is in this movie that we? Oh, Gabriel Byrne. Gabriel Byrne's in this from Usual Suspects, and he plays King Arthur's dad in this. He plays kind of like a sleazy, he's kind of a good guy, but he's kind of a corrupt guy. He's kind of like the Joe Biden of this movie. And but Patrick Stewart plays a knight. A lot of knights in this movie. Liam Neeson plays a knight in this. And who else we got in this? This is pretty much like the only. Helen Mirren. So we just saw Helen Mirren in Shazam, Fury of the Gods. So she was like one of the baddies, one of the gods in that. And so she was in this movie. So yeah, you should watch this movie if you haven't. Well, you should watch it even if you have seen it before. But yeah, if you haven't seen it before, you're going to watch it and you're like, whoa, yeah, that guy's in here. That guy's in there. Well, you're probably not going to say that now because I just ruined it for you. But it's a great movie because it's a kind of a dark take on the Arthurian legend. You got King Arthur, you got Lancelot, you got Guinevere, and they're searching for the Holy Grail after a while. And you got Merlin, the wizard Merlin in it, played by Nicole Williamson, I believe is his name. And yeah, this movie's just badass. And the first time I saw this movie was I was a little kid. I was when I was a little kid, my parents, we didn't have a TV. We couldn't watch movies. My parents were very ultra religious. So we couldn't have any of that at home. So we would go and we'd visit relatives, and my relatives were the exact opposite. They had HBO and Showtime, and they had Laserdisc players and whatnot. They're like, we were the Amish, and they were like the high tech, people. They had all the gadgets and shit. And so we were at like my Aunt Linda's place one time, and Excalibur came on, and this movie gets violent, especially for a little kid. And for a King Arthur movie, because I was used to watching like King Arthur cartoons and stuff, and this movie, like they have a scene where this guy's hanging from a tree, the dead guy's hanging from a tree, and they got crows like pecking out his eyeballs out of his head and whatnot, and I was like, holy shit, and of course I was traumatized, for probably about a month because I was a little kid, in there, and it's pretty bloody. For 1981. Now it's like nothing compared to a Tarantino movie now. But so yeah, you got Excalibur. It's definitely worth checking out. And so yeah, let's go ahead and we will remove that from there. And we are going to be moving on. No, I'm not just stopping at Excalibur. We are going to another movie that I know that probably a lot of you have actually seen. And let's go here. Mute that. You guys recognize this movie? If you've seen it, you should. If you're a manly man, you should recognize this already. So yeah, or not. So this is Conan the Barbarian. Yeah. It's and this is and yeah, I'm just keeping the sound off here because again, we know how YouTube is, right? And their copyright strikes. Okay, trying to keep the man off our dick. All right. And yeah, so Conan, beer drinking Trev, showing his affirmation, showing his approval. Yeah, so let's check out some of these comments here because as great as Conan is, your comments are even better. And Professor Savajat, I mean, are they really good guys if they didn't come out and post black squares in their profiles or talk about white rage or systemic racism? I mean, I don't know that we can really call this cadre of people heroes per se. I mean, when's the last time they broke down a small business's windows and lit it on fire for the sake of racial justice? You know what? Hey, when you're right, okay?
Do you love black people?
Exactly. I do. I'll tell you. And, those, I was going to say Black Lives Matter, but as we all know, BLM stands for burn, loot, murder is what they mean. That wasn't me, but it was funny. Or BLM stands for buy larger mansions, as we found out. Okay, so I mean, as it turns out, race baiting, it pays, and it pays well. Okay, so yeah, I just imagine them sitting in their large mansions, watching all the dumbasses that buy all the BLM stuff, riding in the streets, and they're sitting in their BLM paid for mansion, like yes. All right. More champagne. Bring that over here. Yeah, all these dumbasses that we baited into a race baiting right. Yeah, they're over here rioting. So, yeah. Oh, and more caviar, please. Yeah, there you go. Dumbasses. And that totally has everything to do with Conan right here. So, but I digress. So, but yeah, great great point there, Professor Savage, Dad. You're always dropping the knowledge and the wisdom. And John, your uncle corrupted you? Nope, buddy. Yeah, nothing sinister like that. Nope. So, but plenty of other people have corrupted me, and you know, I'm the living proof of that right there. So yes, I've got some splaining to do. Yeah. And then beer drinking Trev, my testosterone levels just increased. Yeah. So you don't go out there and buy that low T medication. Okay. And go out there and just watch Conan the Barbarian. Okay. Get out there, watch that, and learn the power of steel. Okay. Cause that's remember, that's a big theme in Conan the Barbarian, right? They worship Crumb and Crumb. Is Crumb or Crumb? See, there you go. I'm losing man points there already. So it's Crumb. I think it's Crumb. And they worship steel, the power of steel, as in the sword, right? And then we got Thulsa Doom, played by the legendary James Earl Jones in this. And of course, at the beginning of the movie, he does some bad things. Now I'm not going to spoil it because there might be some people. Crumb, thank you, beer drinking Trev. Crumb, that believe it or not, have not seen this. This movie's what, 40 something years, 41 years old. Again, I got to do math, and so I don't want to spoil it, but he has badass. There's some good blood right there. So, and again, this is a very bloody take on Conan the Barbarian, and obviously this is one of the movies that put Schwarzenegger on the map before Commando and Terminator and all that stuff. So yeah, it's fantastic. And you got Mako is in this. Mako's like his Asian actor that when you see him, you're like, oh yeah, I've seen that guy in a bunch of movies. But yeah, and then towards the end, when Conan's got to go find Thulsa Doom and avenge his dad, dad and mom that's a great epic battle. And Thulsa Doom puts him on the Tree of Woe, and there's that famous line. Sometimes you hear people, say like, ponder this on the Tree of Woe, right? And that's when Thulsa Doom put Conan on the Tree of Woe, kind of crucified him on there. And just an all around great movie. So that's movie number 2 to watch instead of Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, or Dungeons and Dragons pile of shit, as we could probably call that right there. So can you tell? I love that Dungeons and Dragons movie. It's just fantastic. Yeah. All right. So let's try this one right here. So this is the third and final movie, and we will do that too. Get on in there. You guys recognize that? Yeah. So watch any of the Lord of the Rings. Oh, God. Yeah. Lord of the Rings. Okay. Even without the sound on. Well, those guys are. Okay. Well, hey, I know that not to do that. So, yeah, anymore. But I tell you, Lord of the Rings. This is just watch any of the Lord of the Rings movies instead of Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. And do yourself a favor, watch the extended versions of this movie. Or of these movies right here. Okay, you're going to be, planning on your couch for like 2 weeks, but these are movies that are much more worth checking out than Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, so gotta check those out. And obviously, we got Samwise Gamgee and Frodo and the gang. Now, my personal favorite out of these, and this may be sacrilege to people, but the Two Towers is my favorite. The second one, that's my favorite out of all of them. I know a lot of people like the Return of the King the best, but yeah, that's Lord of the Rings. That's movie number 3. And you know what? Hey, let's make YouTube happy. We'll get that off of there. I don't know if that's going to make a difference anymore. So, but get that off of there. So yeah, I just wanted to take that opportunity to just give you. Remind you of some fantastic movies. Again, because like I said, last week, that, when you watch this live stream, you're going to hear about, some movies you've never heard of, okay? Because that's all I want to do is I want to bring attention to movies that you haven't heard of there. And pardon all the beer burps here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why Rumble is better. Yes, exactly. So, and I think, I could see it eventually, like YouTube, we're going to I'm going to totally, obviously, Ian and Sean, they have wisely already told YouTube to kiss their ass, and they don't do their show on there anymore. And this one, at least for the live show, probably gonna just go right over to Rumble, and tell YouTube to kiss our balls there, because we are, the Till Death Podcast Network, we are all against totalitarianism, and I can't believe I said that word correctly. But great recommendation, Beers Drink and Trev, Reign of Fire. That's a great movie too, and that's Christian Bale before any of the Batman movies, and then of course it's got all right Matthew McConaughey in that. And you know what, if you want some dragon action in that, sorry, no dungeons in that one there, Sean, no dungeons in Reign of Fire, just dragons. So but yeah, Reign of Fire, it came out like in 2002, 2003, something like that, and that's a badass movie. So here, let me play a highlight from that with the sound on. No, I'm kidding. So that one, that's pretty good. I like the beginning of Reign of Fire. I like the origin of that, because you've got your normal present day world, right? Your present day Earth. Everyone's going about their business, and then all of a sudden, dragons are unleashed from the bowels of the earth and whatnot, and there's just the shit hits the fan, and then that's the basis of the movie. Did Dragon's Heart suck? It's all right. It's all right. I mean, I think the only thing that that made it all right, if I'm thinking of the same movie, is I believe that's the one where Sean Connery does the voice of the dragon. That one's pretty good. Just because of that. Dennis Quaid is the protagonist, the main guy in that movie. I always like Dennis Quaid. So yeah, between Dennis Quaid and Sean Connery, they make Dragonheart worth watching there. This is another movie from 1981. This is an oldie but a goodie. Is Dragon Slayer. Now, as you would imagine with a movie from 1981, when you watch it, the CGI is pretty bad. Now, it was pretty balls on, like pretty cool back in 1981. But obviously, when you're going to watch that, it's got the excuse that it's 42 years old or whatever. But it's a good movie. So Dragon Slayer, and it stars Peter McNichol. He played like the doofus bad guy in Ghostbusters 2. That worships Vigo or something like that. He's in that. Now later on, I think he was in Ally McBeal. I know all us dudes watch Ally McBeal, right? I mean, what manly man didn't watch Ally McBeal? What a manly show. but Peter McNichol, who's the lead in Dragon Slayer, was in that show. So yeah, okay. So I know, useless knowledge. Pete's Dragon, I got Puff the Magic Dragon. Double Dragon. Yeah, there's some more video game representation in here. A Knight's Tale. In here, so Knight's Tale, and with the late great Heath Ledger in that. So get some great mentions in here. HR Puffin stuff was a dragon. Yep, and that was a great show I hear to watch while you're on weed. Have you ever watched HR Puffin stuff on weed? Yeah, tell me what movie that's from. Yeah. First one that tells me what movie that's from wins a brand new Lamborghini. Yeah, come on down. Right. But yeah, this getting some great mentions in here. Obviously, dragons. Got Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Witchy Pool. Half Baked. There we go, Sean. You're going home with a brand new Lamborghini. Yeah, all right. Hey, I want to go for a drive right there. Let's open up that Lamborghini, see what she's got. Yeah, and Sean will be driving that around Fetterman country. Yeah, so in old Pennsylvania. So yeah, our hearts go out to old John Fetterman right there. And I don't know why I digressed to that, but we're gonna end that right now. Yeah. So that is what we've got going on here. So, and let's do this here. All right, I'm gonna try to do this myself. Well, maybe not. So yeah, I want to just mention here. Yeah, I'm. You know what?
You ever seen Son of a Woman on weed?
Yeah. That's that Lamborghini winning movie right there. Absolutely. So that's the good stuff. That is the good stuff. That's one of Jon Stewart's rare appearances in a movie. Absolutely. So because remember he was in, what was that, Big Daddy with Adam Sandler. So he was in that, and now and then after that he became kind of a tool. But one thing I will say about Jon Stewart is, to totally go off on a tangent here, is yeah, he's kind of a liberal douchebag. Not kind of, he is. But I think he's funny. He's got he used to crack me up on the Daily Show. Now I was able to watch the Daily Show and separate his propaganda bullshit from the comedy, and the comedy was most of the time was pretty good. Okay, so all right. Well, hey, before I proceed on any further here, all right, let me just remind you of we got Nature Clear. Yeah, Nature Clear is this miraculous magical powder. Okay, and to be more detailed on that, this is this powder that, say you are going to go out tonight, all right? You're heading out with Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez. You're heading to Ye Olde Pub, and you know what? You know that you're going to just drink way too many tankards of ale. Okay. And maybe you're going to snort some medieval blow. You're going to be hurting. All right, you're going to be hurting. You're going to have a hangover from hell, and you want to do it smartly, right? And you're going to want something to take the edge off ahead of time. So what you do is you take yourself some Nature Clear magical powder. It's a recovery powder, is what I should call it. And yeah, just it comes in these little packets, and you just dump it in some water, bottle of water, something like that. And you just down that bad boy. You just down some Nature Clear, and then you put on your Michael Jackson Thriller jacket and head on out to the party. Okay, and then so after you're drinking those tankards of ale and doing that medieval blow, you're not going to feel so bad. Okay, if bad at all, because you know what, you got Nature Clear infused in your system, all right? Yeah, so like you're like an injection in your Thanksgiving turkey right there. You're infused, all right, with this Nature Clear to help you out. But you know what? Hey, have no fear. If you forgot to take the Nature Clear before you headed out to the club, you can always take it afterwards. Okay? So just holster yourself up some Nature Clear. You can buy a gun holster instead of putting a gun in there. You just put some Nature Clear in there. So that way, yeah, when you're on your 15th tequila shot, we just bust out the Nature Clear and take that edge off. And so right now, all you have to do is click the link in the description down below. All right, and that's going to take you where you need to go. Okay. And so just search in there, figure out what you want to buy, get that into the cart, and then there's a promo code or a discount code field in there, and just put in promo code MOVIES, as you see right there. Yes. And that promo code of MOVIES is going to give you up to 25% off your next order. Okay. So you're saving all kinds of money in this deal right there. And you're going to save, you're going to save yourself potentially a hellacious hangover. So absolutely. All right. So yeah, Nature Clear, check it out. Okay. Let's check out some chats here. Let's just make sure I'm not leaving anybody out here. Okay. Because I'm asking you to chat, and I don't want to ignore your chats. Right. So, all right. We got 1/16 scale Lambo is what, Sean's going to, unfortunately, that's what you're going to get there, Sean. I guess I forgot to tell you that part before your guess, but you know what? Yeah, you manned up and you got the right guess though. So for what that's worth, right? So 1/16 scale Lambo on its way. Beer drinking Trev, that Lamborghini identifies as invisible. Yeah, that's that Lamborghini's truth. Yes. And as we all know, that if it's not a lie if you believe it, right? So as the great George Costanza once said, Sean, it's a Camry that identifies as a Lambo. But Sean, what is a Lambo? What is it? Like, what is it? That's the $1 million question. What is a Lambo? Okay. What's a Camry? That's going to be Matt Walsh's next documentary. What is a Camry? It's probably not going to get as many viewers as What is a Woman? Not at all. But yeah, you guys are coming with comments here. Let me check YouTube, the totalitarian. Man, I am whoa boy. That's I butchered I butchered that one up there. So absolutely, that is
She's gone from suck to blow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That may. And well, that's that.
You are a retard.
Yep. Exactly. I deserve that one. So yeah, let me check all YouTube's comments here, and no more on that. Yeah, because everyone's doing the smart thing. All right, they're watching on Rumble. Okay, and no offense to anybody watching on YouTube. Okay, but yeah, get on Rumble, man. Okay, again, because that's where it is at. All right, so let's get into. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here, but without I want to go ahead and just let you know about my website, www.moviesmerica.com. Yeah, so you can check out that website. I got all my reviews out there, all my spoiler-free reviews. So if you want to check it out on the website, you can. Now those are audio only. But if you find it too hard to watch my reviews and have to see my mug, you can find yourself some relief and just watch the audio-only versions on moviesmerica.com, or I'm on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And then if you're just listening and you're on one of those platforms, feel free to give me a 5-star rating if you would. There we go. Yep, 5-star rating. But only if you think I deserve it. Okay, I'm not looking for charity. All right. So if I suck, you know what? Matt, probably better. Don't give me any stars in that case, right there. But anyway, yeah. So that's if you're doing the audio only. And then also, I'm on the old socials at Movies Merica on Twitter and Instagram. So you can check out my brilliant posts, my invaluable information that I provide on there. Got to check that out. Yeah. So it's nothing but winning posts out there on my Twitter and Instagram. Matter of fact, I actually haven't been on Instagram in a while. I need to actually start posting out there. So I hear that's where the children's like to check out their post. So, and then again, tdpn.locals.com. Check us out there. Now, for our members only, I believe, is how we're going to work that. I'm going to be doing this Movies Merica Mad Libs, okay? And it's not just going to be me. Ian, Sean's going to help me out, okay? And all of you are going to help out. And what it's going to be is I'm creating 3 characters, okay? So it's going to be a movie script, okay? And obviously movie scripts have characters, right? They have roles. And I'm creating 3 characters. And then I'm going to write some scripts. We're going to have like a scene 1 in this script. I'm going to write some lines for the 3 characters. And Ian, myself, and Sean, we're going to act out these characters sometime down the road. And we're going to do that on this Movies Merica spoiler warning live show at some point, okay? But I'm not going to do all the writing for this, okay? You're going to help me out, okay? Because I'm going to do the first few lines, and then we're going to have you interject the lines. You're going to give these characters lines to read, and then eventually we're going to pick out of a hat which of us have to do which character. And so that'll be hilarious right there, because one of the characters is of the female persuasion, which not a bad, but this kind of a sleazy character. And so woe to whoever of us has to play that character, and then we'll act out the entire script for your viewing pleasure. Okay. But I believe the way we're going to work it is if you have to be a member to contribute to the script. Okay. But everyone will be able to see us acting it out. So, because we want to get interaction with you. Okay. We don't want this just to be a one-way communication thing. We want two-way communication. And the way to do that is, live chats on here and on all our shows, commenting on all our posts, but also the tdpn.locals.com. That's where you can really, communicate with us right there. Spot on there, Ian. And check us out right there. And again, like I was saying earlier, promo code TDPN there, 1 month free membership. And that'll get you access to all the members only goodies, you bet. So, and then also we got the at Till Death Network. And check out that handle there, and then the solo.to/tilldeath pod network there. I believe that's where we have like our one-stop shop for all our links. And yep, right there. So if you don't want to have to like hunt peck all over Al Gore's worldwide interweb to find out how to get, to see us, you can just go to solo.to/tilldeath pod network and find out there. Solo.to/tilldeath studios right there. So Ian is a magic maker when it comes to graphics and everything, like just cool graphics, like the intro that you saw for this live. That's Ian. Okay, now I helped a little bit, but he did the legwork, man. Okay, I just provided my marvelous mug for him. And he took the ball and ran with the rest of it. And so the background, you're seeing all this stuff that's a visual feast for your eyes and your ears. That's the kind of stuff that Ian can do for you. Okay. And so in order to get that done for you, solo.to/tilldeath studios is where to go with that. So I think, let's check for some more comments, live chats right there. I don't want to leave you guys hanging here. What do we got? Define Lambo. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Beer drinking trap, that could be anything. It's whoever's truth. Okay, that's what it's all about. Okay. Sean's like, Italian sports car with butterfly hinge doors and a V12 or something like that. There we go. Yeah, there you go. And the coolest 8-track player inside of it, the latest technology. You define Lambo. All right, everything Camry is not is what Beer Drinking Trev says is a Lambo. And we got some phobia going on in here. We got some phobes in here because Sean's like, yeah, you Toyota phobe. Yeah, so it's getting spicy. It's getting heated in the live chat. So, and again, that's what you're missing out on. If you're just lurking in the background and just watching or listening, you're missing the live chat. Get in here. We want to hear from you. Okay. And again, like I said, just hey, if you want to just put an emoji in there, or if you want to do a Rumble rant, if you want to support me and my 17 kids. Okay, that's a lie. I only have 12. And you want to support me and my 12 kids, you can hit that $ icon there in Rumble there right next to that your message here field, and that you can provide a Rumble rant there. Yeah, it'd be nice, and $1 or $2, $3, $3,000, whatever. I wouldn't be offended. Okay, that's enough begging for money from me. Okay. So then what do we got here? Members only input. Everyone can see the live table read. Thank you for that clarification right there. And then we got Titty Peen representation going on here in the live chat. Yes, so we it would be a gross injustice if we didn't mention Titty Peen in here. In Beer Drinking Trev, if one of the characters is Lizzo, you've lost the other two to her hunger. yeah, absolutely. Because remember what was it? Was it the Looney Tunes cartoons? And like when Elmer Fudd, he was like starving, or Daffy Duck was starving, and then they would look over at Bugs Bunny, and Bugs Bunny would like look like a turkey, because he was getting hungry. Like that's Lizzo's life right there. Okay, if you're like if you're in her presence for more than 5 minutes, you're gonna look like a buttery basted turkey to her. So yeah, give her a wide berth, okay, and watch yourself, okay. And I give her a hard time just because I'm like, she's like, oh, fat girl pride and all that stuff. Like, yeah, type 2 diabetes pride, more like it, yeah. What do we got here? Professor Savage Dad, and it's so much peen going on there right now. All right, yeah. And we got got some great emoticons here from Sean. I like that. So yeah, little dick and balls right there. So again, little reminders in the family show. Professor Savage Dad. Ian also has a really sweet ass. Ian, all right. I think you got a prom date. All right, you got a +1 with Professor Savage. You have to tell Jen no thanks. All right, so now got Professor Savage Dad's gonna be in your arm. Professor Savage Dad.
I've been so thirsty my entire life.
Yes.
I got some booty. I got some booty. I got some booty.
Yeah, I think Professor wants to check out your.
Look at those babies. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Professor's like,
I gotta go take them.
and Professor Savage dad, and always takes the balls. All right, there you go. Some ballsy talk going on here. And so yeah, if you're hoping to get into your Good Friday with some balls talk, you have come to the right place. Obviously here.
No, God, please, no.
Yeah, and again, yeah, there might be, after all this ball talk, some people might have to.
Look at those babies.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's to kind of recover from that.
Long COVID.
Yes, there you go. And you know what, Tucker Carlson, thank you for contributing to this right here. So he gets a few more viewers than I get on this, just a few couple.
Yeah.
he probably pisses off a lot more people than I do too. So, but Professor Savage Dad, hi, hey, my Scion TC identifies as a Camaro. Okay, wow, Scion TC. Yeah, that's I was gonna say they don't even make those anymore. So it's a golden oldie though. That's a golden oldie. All right, beer drinking Trev, balls deep so hard he was bleeding.
It'll burn and burn and burn.
Yeah, wow, that's that's a really way too
Long COVID.
Yeah, too much of that right there. So, but they love it. They love it. Okay, so let's just do one last check here. Is Beer Drinking Trev, is he going to be wrapping it up for the comments here tonight? I think so. Yeah, all right. Chat is getting...
You ever suck some dick for marijuana? Huh?
Love it. It's a half-baked episode here. In Movies Merica, spoiler warning. Every Thursday night, yes, you're going to get a little bit of everything in here. But you're showing Shot is getting very gay. Yeah, so we're getting rainbow jihad representation in here. Yeah. Sean, haha, absolutely. Okay, well, before I get any more gay in here, I just want to let you guys know and remind you, people, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. All right, get to it.
Hey, don't leave yet. All right? Hey, I want to hang out with you for a little bit longer, okay? So, like this video and subscribe to this channel, okay? And also, make sure to watch these videos. They're getting lonely. They don't want to be left by themselves. And like them as well, if you would, all right? And again, thanks for watching the Till Death Podcast Network and Movies Merica.